people speculate all the time about him, but they're guessing. I mean, I was there. I spent 150 days a year with him for 6 years, and he was incredible.
Yeah, there's not many people that can.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's just the experience was unbelievable to stand next to that every day. I mean, I would like stand on that driving range. And I think there is no way these guys can beat him.
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, I just think there's no possible way. And he wasn't. Honestly, he wasn't nearly as good on the golf course. I mean, nobody is. But I've told this to a few people. I said, I've taught over 200 touring pros. The worst player at taking it from the driving range to the golf course that I've ever coached is Tiger Woods.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Go ahead and save that one because that's going to get, that's going to get
wild.
Because I'm going to tell you what, the game he had he won 45% of his time. He teed it up when I helped him. On the driving range, you would thought there's no way this guy could ever lose. But you're always going to have regression. I'm just saying, like he hardly ever missed a shot.
Wow.
Ever. Like he would go on the golf course, and he'd miss a couple. But you gotta understand, he'd go through a warm up, all the time and never miss a shot. Mm-hmm. Like ever.
Yeah. So okay, that's actually great.
That's cool.
That leads me to a question because I mean, I say this all the time when we're doing TV stuff. Like, you walk up and down the range. Now, not to that level, but very few tour players really struggle on the range. I mean, that's why they're at that level. But Tiger, as you said, rarely hit a shot. But yet, he struggled off the first tee about as bad as anybody.
Exactly.
Why?
Pressure.
Tiger, I mean, but like you said, there's no one in the world that should be able to beat him the way he is. And then he goes to the first tee, and he's nervous and
pressure. I would see it
pressure.
all the time. I'm like, what? Where in the world did that come from? Yeah. I mean, but it is usually in the opening rounds, okay? Because in the opening rounds you can lose the tournament, but you can't win it. So there's more pressure on Tiger, and it's just a phenomena about him. Like he never hit a bad shot. Like people would talk about his driving or whatever. Okay, tell me the drives he's ever hit that cost him a tournament. Never. There is none. He never hit one. Okay, but yet the first tee shot. Like most guys, they can hit the first tee shot. They can't hit the last tee shot.
Yeah,
he never missed when he had to.
Well, you hear so many people say, like, the first hole at Torrey, like, he's always struggled. The first hole at Augusta National, he struggled. I was like, if you put that at number 12, he probably stripes it right down the middle every time.
Right, and the thing is, at the beginning of the round, he had wiggle room. Like, he could struggle and still overcome it. At the end, he couldn't do that. So he didn't.
I mean, did he make 3 double bogeys at Torrey?
Three double bogeys.
And won the golf tournament on
number one?
And they were
just like, and on the driving range, those warm-ups were flawless.
Yeah.
And he got on that first tee, but, I mean, that just shows he's human. I mean, he was nervous, I mean, I could tell when he was nervous. Everybody is. But he never looked nervous at the end of the round. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that's when people feel is at the beginning and at the end when things matter. And then here's a guy who's better than any athlete, period, in the world, and dealing with the end. When most people just melt and collapse, and the first tee was the one that was the only thing that gave him issues. You guys ever talk about that? Be like, dude, just first tee, just tee it down a little and maybe just slap it out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I just kind of tried to, you things like that, you don't really want to bring your awareness to it. You just kind of try to ignore it. But in my mind, I'm thinking, what in the hell?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to fix that because I've never seen him do it before.
Exactly. Like people, people say, "Oh, he's hitting so bad." I'm like, you haven't stood there and watched him practice because I mean, the guy never misses a shot. I mean, he's just amazing, and I mean, that's the thing, because when I say that, it's like when I say, of all the players that I've ever coached, he's the worst at taking from the practice tee to the court. I mean, that's a compliment.
That's unreal.
I mean, that's like the highest compliment because he was just so good. But it's like you guys noticed it. Everybody knows that first tee shot. Yeah, he struggled with it. And there were times when I thought, man, I just hope we can get this one in play. And Steve Williams would say the same thing. He'd go, man, if we could just we get off to par on the first hole, we'll be okay. And I'm like, he's Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about? He's Tiger Woods. But it's like, the pressure at the beginning, especially in a major, because that's where you can shoot yourself out of it.
Yeah,